Man, I don't even know how I'm going to explain it. I've done this for way too long.
And they're off.
Yes, we are getting set to go here in this one. Off and underway. As these guys make their first lap, I'll try to make this as quick as possible. It looks like we got a flame out early on here in this one. So the truck is the letter style, which is the top 10 are in the A main, the next 10 are in the B main, C main, and it goes on down. That's the simple format for the truck class. The buggy class is called the IFMAR ladder system, and you have two. Nobody is directly into the final. So you have two semifinals, and they call it an even and an odd, which would be the half finals. Then from there, it divides that in half, and the next group of guys are in the quarterfinals, but you have an even and an odd quarterfinal. Then you have the eighth final, and it breaks all the way down to the 256th even and odd finals. And basically, I believe it is going to be, if I'm not mistaken, I think it is your top two out of each of the lower finals will bump up to the next final up. And then when we get to the semis, it is your top 5 out of each semi. And then your 2 fastest, I believe. The next 2 fastest out of the semis will transfer as well into the actual final. Does it make sense if you have done this for way too long? Yes. As you watch here on the broadcast, it all makes sense. But basically, it's the same format, though. Still, top 2 guys are going to bump up until we get up to those semifinals. That's when we start bumping up 5 guys. And
can you say odd and even 3 times as fast as you can?
Cannot. Not even going to try.
Hey, keep screwing that one up.
Yep.
I think it's
not even going to try.
All right, back to K-Main. Race number 2. Alan Krier, David Scott, Jeff Bowland, Landen Lewis. Like you said, he's right back out there. Ryan Lecuyer, Orlando Lebron, Ever Lobos, Mike Walker, Alex Merelli, Christopher Gibson, Kyle Chasen, Niko is not out there. Alan Krier. So Tony said who? Bowland?
Lewis. Landen Lewis. That was.
Landen Lewis.
He
is 4th right now, Tony.
Now he's up
third. Oh,
that's the battle right there for the bump spot. Oh, Lewis gets on the inside of the pipe. Make the big mistake there. He comes back there. The red and white dives to the inside. I believe that is going to be a pass right there up into the second place spot. That is the final transfer. Oh, trouble for Landen Lewis. Drops back to the number 3 spot now. He is all over the back door. David Scott. Scott goes a bit wide, leaves the door open. Here comes Lewis. Oh, Scott bumps him right back out and takes it away from him. Scott in the red and yellow truck. Landen Lewis in the red and white. Up and over the triple to go. Now Lewis, we saw him in the last heat. He had a big enough lead that he was going double single on the triple. He's going for that triple this time around. Here they come down the front stretch. This is the battle for the transfer spot here from the K truck main into the J truck main. And again, if you're just joining us, so we're watching Landen Lewis. Lewis was not able to make the qualifying heats. He started dead last here in truck, and he's trying to work his way up. So it'll be interesting to see how far he can make it through the ranks here in this one. He is all over the back door. David Scott not far ahead of them is Alan Krier. Oh, and there he's got it. Landen Lewis up into the number 2 spot. David Scott drops back to 3rd now. 3:10 down, 6:50 to go. Landen Lewis clicks off a 35-1. That is the fastest lap of this race. Well over a second faster than the next fastest lap. So Lewis definitely has got the speed. However, there's a lot of factors into these races, and as we mentioned, he was on the track in the last race. Oh, and he's all over the back door. Look at that right there. A beautiful pass. Lewis up into the lead now. Alan Krier drops to the number 2 spot. So Landen Lewis goes from 8th on the grid to win the L main, starts 11th on the grid here in the K main, is all the way up to 1st now in this one as he comes down the front stretch once again, sliding his way around there. So he's got a little more track time than a lot of these guys, which, as we mentioned, is can be good and can be bad.
So Tony spot on. Landen Lewis up front. A 34.798 fast lap time there. Alan Krier, Jeff Bowland, Orlando Lebron, David Scott, and Christopher Gibson top 6. Mike Walker, Ever Lobos back in 8th. Kyle Chasen 9th, and Alex Merelli top 10. Donnie says, thanks, guys. Mike, you're the best. Love your MX announcing also.
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate that. And we're starting to make some pit stops. Here comes Landen Lewis in for fuel. He's got Leon McIntosh running the fuel gun again.
MP Davis says, Mike, when I heard you got the LiveRC gig, I couldn't be happier for you. Great addition to the broadcast.
Oh, I appreciate that. Oh, Mark Pavitas. I really appreciate that. Yeah. Mark, hopefully we'll see you at the track very soon. I really appreciate that, Mark. Good to see he is tuning in and watching. So Mark Pavitas, if you follow him on Instagram, I cannot think of the name right now off the top of my head of the company that he is working for, but he's got a basically they do like Sprinter vans, but they are decked out.
Is that MB Vans or something like that? I've seen
Could
that.
be. It is.
I know
it
exactly
is
what you're
super
talking
cool.
about. Yeah.
Super cool
Okay,
stuff.
we need to talk. I need one.
There you go. Dave Derringer, right here. He needs one.
MX filter.
Yeah. Get in touch with Mark Gavitas, no doubt about it.
Done deal.
Well, there you're taking a look at our Hobby Wing pit lane cam as they come in and out of pit lane. Landen Lewis still going to be I take that back. Alan Krier takes over the lead with Landen Lewis's pit stop. I think Landen may be back out front. We'll verify that when he comes back around here onto the right-hand side. Regardless, he's in a bump spot. Now, if Landen bumps again out of this one, he's going to get a little bit of a break because coming up next, we've got our Buggy 256 even final, followed by our 256 odd final. The top two drivers out of each of those will bump up. Boy, I'm not good at math. So whatever's after that, 128 even and odd final. Well, a little mistake there for Landen Lewis. He is back out front, leading the way at this point. And looking at the pit times there, Landen Lewis had a 7.5 second pit stop. Alan Krier, a 7.8 second pit stop. David Scott, a 5.9 second pit stop. So Scott in the number 3 spot. He's 10 seconds out of the bump behind Alan Krier, but he's trying to make up some time there. Get up 2 seconds just with the pit stop.
About 3.5 minutes to go here. K-Main. Landen Lewis, like I said, still going good. His fastest lap time of 34.798. Alan Krier, David Scott, and Bowland. Our top Bowland now moves up to 3rd. Orlando, Lebron, and David Scott move back to 4th and 5th.
And as you can see, Lewis trying to work his way. Trying to work his way through traffic, and he gets caught up on the face of the triple. Lucky save right there for Landen Lewis. Yes, there you go. Colin Herzig joining us.
Let's go to the next instant replay, Mike. What happens here?
This right here, this could have been potentially a race-ending deal here for your leader. As you can see, the lapper checks up on the triple.
Sure
Landen was going for the triple.
Look at that.
Luckily, he lands back because that turn marshal was on the gas, though. I don't know who that turn marshal was, but he was on it. So Lewis out front. Colin Herzig joining us. Says, what made Roar go back to the ladder systems? I think a combination of things, looking at time. I think they actually, after sorting things out, when they went to the ladder system, they were going to have to give so many breaks in between that if you could go back-to-back racing with the ladder system, it would work. But you had to give breaks to give the guys that are running in the B-main in the truck and the B-main in the buggy, they would be, back to back. So with all the breaks, it was going to take actually longer than the ladder system. Not to mention, I think, with some of the racer feedback, a lot of the racers were really wanting to do the ladder system. That's kind of what they came here expecting. So, I think Roar did a good job working with them, and I think they turned it back around, and now we're running a ladder system.
Yes, sir. Less than 2 minutes to go here. K-Main. Landen Lewis still up front. Alan Krier and Orlando Lebron moves up 3rd. David Scott and Bowland back in 5th. So Lewis there. Tell me about all the times I'm seeing across the board there, Mike. Which one? Besides that fastest lap time, which...
So basically, what we're looking at here, fast lap time, the pace here, these are heads-up races. So
that's what I figured.
Yeah, so our pace is here. Unlike qualifying, doesn't really matter as long as you're out front. So Landen Lewis leading the way. Keep an eye on those lap times. Of course, our pit time there. Looks like Landen Lewis last pitted at the 4-minute, 23-second mark. Spent 7.4 seconds in the pit.
Gotcha.
And we've got looks like our MyLab speed trap all set up here.
Yes, with the actual miles per hour.
Yes. So was it yesterday that I thought it was 200 miles an hour?
I do recall that.
Yes, I think yesterday
the guy below him was 599 miles an hour.
Yes, exactly. So it looks like the fastest down that front straight here in this one, 36.3 for Alex Merelli, maybe?
You're looking at speed there?
Yeah.
That would be 36.06 is the one I see. Bowland.
36.5 now for Merelli. He's fast on that front.
There you go.
15 seconds left to go. Now, once again, if you're tuning in on LiveRC, if you watch qualifying, in qualifying, all the drivers are on their own time, and therefore not everybody finished necessarily at the same time and that sort of thing. This is our heads-up finals. Therefore, when the time expires, which it just has, now as soon as you cross the finish line, you are done. So there will be, as you see that truck turning around right there, he is finished. So when Landen Lewis comes around this time around, he will be finished. He's got less than half a track to go. He's looking for another main event win here in this one for the K main to bump up to the L main. J main. Came from the L into the K. Now going to the J. As he comes back around, Alan Krier going to take that number 2 spot, the final bump spot. So congratulations to Alan. And there's Landen. And that is a race. Landen Lewis starts last in the first main, wins it, bumps up to this one, starts 11th, wins this.